I bought everything my cat pointed at for 1 full week, and I almost went broke. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is what he did on day 7. It changed the way I see him forever. You will not believe what this tiny furry creature actually wanted. Stay tuned, because this story gets weird and expensive, and honestly, a little bit scary. My name doesn't matter. What matters is that I have a cat. His name is Mochi. He is a fluffy gray tabby with big green eyes, and he is spoiled. Like, really spoiled. But I thought I was being a good pet parent. You know how it is. You see those little paw reaches, and your heart just melts. You want to give them everything. I made a mistake that thousands of cat owners make every single day. I mistook curiosity for a request. I thought he was pointing at things he loved. I was so wrong. It all started on a lazy Sunday afternoon. Mochi was sitting by the window. He lifted his little paw and pointed at a bird outside. I thought it was cute, so I bought him a robotic bird toy. He stared at it for 2 seconds and walked away. But I didn't learn my lesson. I thought, maybe he wants something else. Maybe I just didn't get the right thing. So I decided to do an experiment. A very dumb experiment. For 7 days, every single thing Mochi pointed at with his paw, I would buy. No questions asked. No price limits. No logic. Day 1. Mochi pointed at the refrigerator. My heart jumped. I thought, oh, he wants fancy tuna. So I went to the store and bought the most expensive imported tuna in a glass jar. It cost me $22. I opened it. I put it in his bowl. He sniffed it. Then he looked at me like I was an idiot. He walked away. He didn't eat a single bite. That was my first red flag, but I ignored it. Later that same day, he pointed at my laptop. I thought, okay, maybe he wants a heated keyboard pad. Cats love warmth, right? So I bought a $50 heated pet mat that plugs into USB. I set it up right next to my laptop. He stepped on it once. Then he jumped off and pointed at the window again. The mat is still sitting in my closet, unused, unloved. Just like my bank account. Day 2. Mochi pointed at the TV remote. I was convinced he wanted to watch nature documentaries, so I bought a subscription to a special cat TV channel. It plays birds and squirrels for 8 hours straight. I turned it on. He watched for exactly 4 minutes. Then he turned his back to the screen. He pointed at the ceiling fan. The ceiling fan. I don't know what I was thinking, but I bought a remote-controlled ceiling fan toy that spins with colorful lights. It cost me $110. He didn't even look up. He just yawned. That yawn felt personal. Day 3. This is where things started getting strange. Mochi pointed at my shoes. My dirty, smelly running shoes. I thought, okay, maybe he wants a catnip-filled shoe toy. I bought one. It looked like a tiny sneaker stuffed with organic catnip. He pushed it under the couch and never touched it again. Then he pointed at the trash can. The trash can. I bought a fancy motion-sensor trash can because I thought he liked the sound of the lid opening. He ran away from it. He hid under the bed for 2 hours. I spent $80 to scare my own cat. By the end of day 3, I had spent over $400. My apartment was filled with random junk. Robotic fish, a self-warming cat cave, a water fountain that looks like a flower, a scratching post shaped like a cactus. Mochi didn't care about any of it. He pointed at everything, but he loved nothing. I started to get frustrated. I started to feel used, but I couldn't stop. I had to see this through because I made a promise. And also, I was curious. What did he actually want? Day 4. Mochi pointed at the front door. My heart started racing. I thought, oh no, he wants outside. He wants freedom. I panicked. I bought a $100 cat backpack, the kind with the bubble window, so I could take him on walks. I strapped him in. I walked outside. He screamed. Not meowed. Screamed. Like a tiny demon. People stared at me. I turned around and came back inside. He jumped out of the backpack and pointed at my bed. I bought new silk bedsheets because I thought he wanted luxury. He peed on them. Yes, He peed right in the middle of the silk sheets. That was a $400 mistake. I cried a little. Just a little. Day 5. I was losing my mind. Mochi pointed at the window again, but this time he was staring at the neighbor's cat, a big orange tomcat sitting on the fence. I thought, okay, he wants a friend. So I bought a life-sized stuffed cat toy. It looked so real. It even had fake fur and glass eyes. I placed it in the living room. Mochi walked up to it. He sniffed its face. Then he hissed. He hissed so loudly. He ran to the corner and pointed at the ceiling. I looked up. There was nothing there. Just a smoke detector. A boring white smoke detector. I was so tired. I was so broke. But I was also obsessed. I started to question my entire life. Why was I doing this? Why was I letting a 10-pound cat control my finances? I sat on the floor. I looked at Mochi. He looked at me. He pointed at my face. My face. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't buy myself. That would be weird. So I just sat there. And that's when I noticed something. Something I had missed for 5 whole days. His paw wasn't pointing at objects. He was pointing at light, reflections, shadows. Day 6. I finally started paying attention. Mochi pointed at the wall. I looked closer. There was a tiny sunbeam moving slowly across the paint. He wasn't pointing at the wall. He was pointing at the light. I moved a piece of furniture. The light disappeared. He stopped pointing. He looked confused. Then a car drove by outside. A new reflection appeared on the ceiling. He pointed at that too. My brain exploded. All this time, he wasn't asking me to buy things. He was trying to tell me he wanted to play. With light. With movement. With me. I bought a laser pointer on day 6. It cost me $3. $3. I clicked it. Mochi went crazy. He chased that little red dot for 30 minutes straight. He jumped. He slid. He flipped. He was happier than he had been all week. I felt so stupid. But I also felt relieved. I wasn't a bad cat parent. I was just a blind one. Day 7. The final day. Mochi pointed at the closet. I opened it. He pointed at a dusty old cardboard box. I pulled it out. He jumped inside. He curled up. He purred louder than I had ever heard. That box was free. It came with a pair of sneakers I bought last year. He didn't want expensive toys. He didn't want fancy food. He didn't want heated mats or robotic birds. He wanted simple things. A box. A beam of light. My attention. I sat on the floor next to him. He reached out his little paw. He touched my hand. Not pointed. Touched. And in that moment, I realized the biggest mistake wasn't the money. It was the assumption. I assumed I knew what he wanted. I assumed that expensive meant better. I assumed that pointing meant wanting. But cats don't think like humans. They don't care about price tags. They care about instinct. They care about curiosity. They care about connection. So what did I learn from this ridiculous experiment? I learned that cats are not tiny humans. They don't point because they want to shop. They point because something catches their eye. Something moves. Something shines. Something smells interesting. And then they move on. They don't hold grudges. They don't have wish lists. They live in the present moment. And we as pet owners need to stop projecting our own desires onto them. I also learned that my cat loves me. Not for what I buy him, but for the time I spend with him. The laser pointer cost less than a cup of coffee, but it gave him more joy than all the other junk combined. The cardboard box was free, but it became his castle, his throne, his safe space. I spent over $1,000 to learn a lesson that was right in front of me. Listen to your pet. Observe them. Don't just react. Understand. If you have a cat or a dog, please don't make my mistake. Don't buy them things they don't need. Buy them your presence. Buy them your patience. Buy them your time. That is the only currency they truly value. Mochi is now sleeping next to me. He's curled up in that dusty cardboard box. He is purring. He looks peaceful. He looks happy. And honestly, I've never been happier either. Because I finally get it. If you enjoyed this story, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video if you have ever bought something dumb for your pet. Comment below with the weirdest thing your cat or dog has ever pointed at. I promise I will read them. I need to know I'm not the only crazy pet parent out there. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next experiment. Because trust me, I'm not done learning from Mochi. And next time, maybe I'll do this with my dog. That will probably be even more expensive. Subscribe now. Share this with a friend who spoils their pet too much. And remember, sometimes the best things in life are free. Or $3, like a laser pointer. See you in the next video. Bye. Wait, before you go. One more thing. Mochi just opened one eye. He's looking at me. He's pointing at my wallet. I'm not kidding. I think he's doing it on purpose now. Help me. Subscribe so I can afford this cat's new lifestyle. I'll see you soon. Bye for real this time.